Hi guys, you're here at Black Excellence Bristol, acknowledging achievements and aspirations. I'm here with old friend Luke White. Luke White is a architecture graduate, finished at Leeds University.
Yeah, Leeds Beckett.
Leeds Beckett, yeah, and he's of Jamaican heritage. So you're Bristol born and bred as well?
Yes, born in London, moved to Bristol.
Born in London?
I
didn't know that. Where in London were you born?
Well, Shepherd's Bush.
Shepherd's Bush?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
But as soon as I was born, Mum moved me straight back up to Bristol, yeah.
Yeah, so your family from Bristol?
Yeah, family from Bristol, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but lived here most of your life then?
Yeah,
So you've got good family connections.
There you go,
Around
exactly.
here,
Exactly,
yeah. So there's a lot of Jamaican people as well here. Like, I'm Jamaican as well.
That's it.
You know, I'm here in Black Swan, Jamaican pub as well, so I'm sticking to the roots here. Yeah. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about doing architecture and stuff, and like what sort of drove you to want to do architecture? Because it's quite a niche thing. I've not met many people who do architecture.
Exactly. And for that reason, really. So the courses that I did within A-levels, it was maths, product design, and art. And those three things pretty much the foundations for architecture, more or less. So, and yeah, once I had those things, right, what else can I do with them, really? Because the options were either fine art or try something else, really. Try and do like a foundation degree. I didn't really have a plan. Then quite late on, I thought, yeah, architecture, why not? So I did a bit of research on it, despite the sort of statistics of black people going into architecture. I'll accept that challenge.
Amazing. And was it like a difficult environment for you to be in? Did you sort of like?
Yeah, it was. Well, uni alone was a different environment, and architecture, that sort of stress on top of it, it's like #1 ranked hardest degree.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I can't draw out. So you know, that's square one.
Yeah, time management and everything on top of being in a new environment. Yeah, it's sort of fight or flight, really. Like you need to embrace it, you need to tackle it, and best you can, really. Yeah.
What was one of the biggest challenges of the course, you say?
Time management. I'd say that's one of the main reasons why we had I guess anything, if you have more time on it, you have more experience. But having such little time to do such a vast amount of work, you had to really structure ways of doing, even outside of the course. It's like how long can I be outside for? How long can I have free time for? Really structure your days, and that's made me quite disciplined now. Where I understand I can't be too comfortable with things now. If I get too comfortable, I'm in a state where I can fall off. So I try and push myself as much as I can after coming out of that course and understanding, like, right, this is how the world works now.
That's amazing.
That's it.
So it's really prepared you for like
the
adult life, really, innit? Because you go, how old were you, like 18, 19 when you went to uni first?
So I was going, 18,
Yeah, exactly. So you go in as like basically a child almost still, really, innit?
Very much,
Now you come out big man now,
It's a lot different.
And in uni, were there many like taught you personally? Was there many black lecturers? Or any black lecturers, should I say?
Funny enough, only one. And funny enough, that was the one who failed me in second year.
Really?
So in my head, I thought, like, right, is this some sort of like an attack or something due to like my race? But it's just me being ignorant. Obviously, my work wasn't of a good standard, but then again, tutors have their own sort of preference. Because the degree itself is like art, so art itself is subjective. So you have different styles of architecture basically you pick as a tutor. I wasn't catered to his type of architecture, so he failed me for that reason. But afterwards, like a couple of weeks ago, I was back up in Leeds, had a conversation with him for about 2 hours, talking about how he's seen me develop, how he's seen me be more mature in my work, time development as well. So I look at my work. I had a good conversation about it, and the same issues we're discussing here, being like how he sort of rose up to the top to become an architect, what he's done as well. Reached some great achievements where he's had interviews with Reba, like the head of pretty much the people like run the architecture, having a conversation with them, showing them their work, and celebrating his achievements, really. So for that reason, he's one of the people that inspired me as well.
Really?
So that one
architect.
Exactly. So that one architect who taught me, despite him failing me, understood why. Had a conversation about it.
That's the interesting thing. I feel like with failure, it can almost be like a catalyst to spark that hunger in you, because you had to look within yourself and think, where did I go wrong? And it's almost like maybe he failed you because he knew you could do better. And now he's looking at you now, and he's seen, he's seen you flourish now, Do you know what I mean? Because that isn't like getting too comfortable. So imagine you just coasted through that year, and then you might not have developed to the level you're at now as well. So failure can actually be a good thing, really, isn't it? Like, it's lessons, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. So you said he's one of your like sort of role models or inspirations, actually.
Yeah.
Is there any other like black architects that you look up to, or architects in general that you look up to?
I try. See, it's tricky because I don't really have any architects I look up to, because understanding with architecture is sort of like it's specific to gender, specific to class, specific to race, for example. So like all white men, pretty much.
Yeah.
So with that,
Shock.
So you'll get that sort of approach with architects now. The ones who are doing well, the ones who have stayed architects, they're with that profile, really. So to have someone that I look up to, because I felt like, I shouldn't be here based on that. It felt like I shouldn't really pick architecture because it's just old white men to do. That's the sort of like phrase.
Yeah.
So for me to come in a young black kid, so well, how's it going to work? So I sort of turned away from looking at them too much as role models, but just actually taking their work as opposed to who they are. Understanding what they've done, the use of geometry, the use of pretty much taking what they have, trying to make it like home to hopefully be in their shoes.
And create your own sort of style from it as well. Exactly. Is there much room for like expression within architecture?
Nowadays, not so much, because it's the same issue, like we're running out of space now. So even looking around Bristol, looking around Stochcroft, you don't really see many buildings that express what Bristol is. It's becoming apartments now, because running out of space due to like inflation. People coming into Bristol from like London, for example. So I guess the opportunities would lie outside of the UK or outside of the Western world, I suppose, and actually go back to sort of cultural approach and going back to Africa, going back to Jamaica, and actually showing my gratitude to it, showing the architecture, showing how pretty much giving back to where you're from. So that is a dream, really.
Really
Go back
to go back.
Go back to Jamaica, try and build something, build off my grandfather's land that he had. Work on that, sort of a renovation, I suppose.
That's beautiful, because that's such a great skill to bring.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that's really lacking in Jamaica, is the construction aspect and stuff. Like I had the same situation as you. My grandparents have land in Jamaica, and then my granddad was a plasterer.
Right. Okay.
And he was built a house out there. But it just took him so long, to get the materials and things like that, and get everything together and stuff like that. I think that'd be something that is really useful. And I have the same dream as well. I want to move there and just build my life there. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
But also what you were saying about like coming into architecture as a young black person, and not having that representation within the industry. And I had the exact same thing, because when I was in sixth form and growing up, to be honest, I wanted to be an English teacher.
Right. Okay.
And then by the time I got to sixth form, I was like, wait, there's no books. Like, we're not learning about any books like written by black people. None of my teachers are black. Like, I was one of 2 black people in the whole class.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? And I was like, from being like, this is my dream, to just like, how can I achieve this? It's not who I am. But I've overcome that now anyway. But it's not about me. But I just wanted to relate to you a little bit about that basically. But so also you do artwork as well.
Yes.
So how did that where did that begin?
So
obviously you studied it in sixth form.
Well, the artwork sort of stemmed from as long as I can remember. Really, that stemmed from my father coming down back to Bristol to live in Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you do for work?
Saudi Arabia, engineer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Another role model of mine, my father, to be able to overcome obstacles and to land a job in Saudi Arabia. So when he did come back down to Bristol, I just remember me grabbing a piece of paper, plain piece of paper, grabbing a pen, pencil, if I could, and just running them. Because he was the one who showed me drawing. Because he used to make postcards, do t-shirts, pretty much the same thing I'm doing now. Funny enough, like same age and
that's real. Wow. So you sort of like almost emulated his
pretty much,
years. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's had that impact on him. But so how long has he been out there for?
He moved out 98, so same year I was born.
Really?
So,
wow. So even though he's not
opportunity.
been around as much.
Yeah, it's still a big
It's still,
influence.
that's really good. Because I've always thought you were fairly close with your dad anyway, from like social media
exactly.
stuff. You look like someone of success. As well.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can see it's rubbed off on you as well.
Thank you.
Definitely. Oh, amazing. And so just wanted to ask sort of like, what is one of your greatest achievements, and do you think it's ever truly been like recognised?
Greatest achievements, I suppose, actually, well, for starters, graduating, of course, because there's a lot of times where I thought to myself, right, this isn't for me, I should drop out, especially after failing and towards the architect that I thought was the most likely with that conversation about our background. He was from Trinidad, so he was trying about stories back when he was out there for the connection and getting a failure. So, there. But now, sorry, I forgot the question.
One of your like greatest achievements.
Great achievements of that. So again, passing, graduating from university, being out there to be able to sell my artwork in forms of t-shirts and forms of prints, because that was sort of a thing that I feared. Will I get that much traction? Will I get that much sales? Will it just be, because again, when you put money forward to this, you expect money to come back. It's a big risk. All my friends who interact with me, because it's over Instagram, all they can do is just like it.
Exactly. Likes don't pay the bills now.
Exactly. But being able to understand that people do want my artwork, people do like it, and then stepping out of that sort of friendship circle and then selling it onto what's like barbers, restaurants, and my artwork as well.
It's Caribbean Croft.
Caribbean Croft. A barber from Manchester has some of my work who found me. Another one up in Leeds. Another like Braid Salon who, just anyone who I meet is just getting that sort of confidence to be like, okay, I do artwork. I understand like your work's good. So just getting that confidence now to actually step out of my comfort zone. Here's my work, do you want it? And most of the time it's a yes, but at the end of the day, it's just having that confidence to step out. I don't think that would have been achieved unless I took these steps. Really.
And with the artwork, what is the sort of path that you want to go in? Because obviously you got the career with the architecture, but then you've also, like you said, you're finding success with doing the art as well. And I've seen it blowing up and stuff like that. And you see a lot of people really like it. I like it as well a lot.
Thank you.
And we're seeing a big rise in that type of drawing, because you use the iPad to draw.
Use iPad.
Exactly, and I've seen that's something I've never really seen before. To be honest, in the past sort of year and a half or so, I've seen a massive rise in that type of graphic artwork sort of thing. So do you think that's something you want to pursue as like a primary way of making money, or is the architecture still the path?
Well, the reason for getting this in the first place was for architecture. So I thought to myself, because my laptop was quite broken at this stage, I thought, if I can use the same format but in the iPad form to speed things up a little bit. But when I found the app that I've been using for the digital design, that's when passion came through. So I'm able to draw stuff a lot faster, better quality than I thought. So let me try it out now. So funny enough, my dad, when my dad got this, he said, remember you're doing architecture, don't fall into it. Already, he saw from the grin that I had when I spoke to him, he knew that I was going to really have a passion with this more so than architecture. But again, because this is quite new and it's part of this new digital world, I'm able to sort of emulate both of these activities within the iPad. So I'm glad I got it. Really glad.
That's so cool. 2 in 1. There you go.
There you go.
And just to wrap up, actually, just want to ask you, what is one of your goals for the future? Basically, what is the next step for Luke?
Next step would be going into architecture itself, understanding I've done the degree now. Well, part one of it is 3 parts. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So part 1 is the undergrad. So part 1 is the undergrad. Part 2 is working with the firm, the 2 years, and part 3 being masters. But with masters, you're not restricted to the same university you went to. You have quite a lot of options to go to throughout the UK. So it would just be carrying with that, I suppose, for now. But again, always keeping the side hobby active, not really trying to let it fall off. For the traction that I'm getting now, it can be improved, but only through pushing the work out. So yeah, get a stable job and see what I can get with it.
Yeah, so it's exciting times.
It is, yeah, interesting times.
Wow.
Man. Interesting times.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming through.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate having you so much.
Thank you.
Because you are one of the people that like really inspired me to do this project. You know, because I've seen what you've been doing online. I've seen the course and stuff. I just thought like that is just amazing. We need the representation of this.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
there's like. Because if I look to you, someone walking down the street, you're going to get stereotyped.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
They're going to think you're a rapper or you're a drug dealer, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah. But then deep down, exactly.
Yeah.
Deep down, you're an artist, you're an architect, and you're an incredible human being. So thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.